girl child. Today I have Rafa, I've already introduced. She is my friend. She is the brand owner of Lotta Kushi. Please don't shop at her shop. I will drop her Instagram handle. And she is the author of Girlhood. So one day we will be talking about your child. Firstly, please, before you skip this video or something, remember, and I understand, I totally understand, because now feminism is weaponized and it seems like, I don't know, it seems like feminism is totally on the wrong side, but please, acknowledge the fact that girls weren't allowed to go to school, girls weren't allowed to speak amongst, like, where boys would talk and decide, girls weren't allowed to say. And girls were married off at very young age, and they would not have a say at all in their lives. So today we are celebrating progress because in such a small, significant time there is so much progress now, and maybe it would even be like better, like totally good. So please, thank you for celebrating girlhood today.
Thank you.
But before you dive into the matter of today, your book, Dear Girls, what's one thing that would resonate with this day? One thing that would resonate with our audience, the girls that are listening, that would you like to share? Yeah.
There isn't a better day to remind every girl out there who may be watching that you're not alone and your experience isn't unique or familiar to you. There's always someone else who's been through the same thing. So you shouldn't be afraid to share your story, because there are people out there who they've done these things and they can give you advice. So you don't have to struggle.
Exactly, guys. Talking about sharing your story, her book is available in hard copy. It's available in hard copies, and it will also be published soon on Amazon. So today we're talking about girlhood. What is girlhood? Who is the girl child? What is so special about the girl child? What?
Girlhood is the
Period of transitioning from
a kid to an adult woman. So it's just those years where you're trying to figure things out, where you're wondering if you're even, you look in the mirror and
you're like, who am I? So I have some interesting pointers with me, and I would just dive into them quickly. Girlhood. The first one says that girlhood is going around and being catcalled almost every single time.
yes, this is something that everyone has experienced. Every
Every girl, guys.
So you can't even say, oh, I've never experienced that before. As long as you step outside, you're going to experience it, and it is not something that we can control. But you know who can control it? It's mothers. When raising your sons, raise them to be responsible and raise them to be respectful to other humans, because they just see us as girls and not humans with feelings or humans who have the right to be offended.
Exactly.
So,
please, if you're asking what catcalling is, it's chiking. It's basically fine girl, how you did, babe? I feel like get your number.
There are proper ways to handle being catcalled.
Yeah.
First of all, I feel like, as like girl children have this intuition. It's like you just know
when
the
someone
kind
is
of
looking at
environment
you.
you're in. So it's not everyone you insult. Like, you don't have to disrespect every single person that tries to catcall you, because it's a dangerous world out there. But you don't have to answer them. I feel like you're just going to know when this person is really not looking out for you in any way. There are people who are not going to hurt you even if you ignore them while they catcall you. But then, when someone is going to hurt you or has tendencies of hurting you, They don't need to be holding a stick for you to know. So always trust your intuition. It's not everyone you're going to turn around and disrespect, because there are people who are going to hurt you when you hurt their feelings, because some of these men out there are just little boys with big egos that they're trying to save. So please ignore them
and move on.
And if you can't ignore them, if you feel like ignoring them would be a problem too, just give them a number and block them. I'm sorry, but we're trying to keep you safe. It's all about safety. Just come out alive. That's what we want. Come out uninjured, come out alive, and
come out.
I said alive. Come out alive.
So yeah, another pointer, girlhood is bleeding through your pants in elementary school because you got your period earlier than other girls.
You have the starting story now.
Personally, yeah. I was one of those girls that bled. That's so her period early. I had my period in elementary 6, which was weird for me because I had to understand personal hygiene. Like I was on my own. No, I was enjoying my life as a girl, and then they had to tell me wear pad, wear this, wear that. You have to be more clean. You have to wash. You have to, and then the pains that came. You have to take paracetamol. It was later in life I found that you don't actually have to take drugs because that could lead to further complications. So I don't even know how, because there are other girls out there that have major menstrual pains. So how would they even manage without drugs? But yeah, early development early development can cause a lot of confusions and uncomfortable things, but it's just what you have to go through. All girls go through it. Everyone does basically, but
it's also like this period of adjustment, because the thing about getting a period is when you get a period, you feel like a whole new person. Like the little girl goes at that time. That's why I talk about the whole standing. I don't know if I was the only one who did that, but I would look in the mirror and I would be looking for myself. Because what is this body? You know, this is not the body I grew up in 7 years ago. So it's overwhelming, and we're not about to tell you, oh, it's not overwhelming. It is, but it gets better. So don't plan your entire life based on how you feel right now, because it's a phase.
So please, even if you do have if you have your period early, understand that you're not alone. You just need to adjust. You need to understand that, hey, you're becoming a woman.
And if you don't have your period early, that's okay.
That's fine too, please.
I was a late bloomer, and I used to stress about it, and I would look into the toilet every morning hoping that my period came for like 2 years. And it made me feel like there was something wrong with me, because everyone around me is like, oh, I'm getting a period, and they will get to go to the sick bay and sleep because they have periods. That just felt so unfair to me, so I felt like I had a problem. Yeah, so don't be pressured about it. It's gonna come, and even if it doesn't go, if you really don't want it, I promise you really don't want it. But those out there who are worrying about the fact that they don't have periods, it's not even that cool in the end. You'll be wishing for it to go.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Another pointer we have here is girlhood is having the rape talk before the sex talk.
Our take on that is, when I got interpretation on that take is when mothers are very vague when talking about relationship between men, women, sex.
Don't allow a boy to touch you, you will get pregnant.
Or don't let a man to cross your legs. Mothers, step up. Like that doesn't work anymore. It never even really works, because who invented that?
It would only invite curiosity, because we would further investigate. We would open dictionary.
We would ask people to touch us.
Yeah?
like in the touch way. No, because when people are told that, like, we actually take it
Then
literally.
when boys actually do touch us, and
We
then
live in all this
and then
fear.
when boys touch us and then nothing happens, we're like, my mom lied.
Yeah, and that's very disappointing. I'm not gonna lie.
So please.
And just in Dear Girls, what I always say is, if they don't learn it from you, if they don't learn it from the home, they will learn it on the streets. And when you learn it on the streets isn't gonna tell you everything.
Yeah.
Because they're telling you that so they could sound cool. They are not gonna tell you about abortions. They're not gonna tell you about pregnancy. They're just gonna tell you that it's
They're
cool.
not going to tell about how to raise a child. It's a whole different book.
So that's why you should be the one to let your kids know, so that when they hear people talk about it outside, it's like, oh, mommy already told me that, so it's really not that deep. So
You already know.
this is a message, dear mothers.
Please be more intentional with raising your boys, with raising your girls. Give them the sex talk, but please also give them the rape talk, so they actually know and they're not surprised by any other information.
And make them feel safe, so just in case it ever happens, they don't hide it from you. It's your job to create that environment where they feel like it's okay for them to make these mistakes. There are people who get raped and they feel like it was their fault, they feel disgusting, they feel like nobody would believe them, and they keep it as, secrets, and that's how you hear about these rape pregnancies, rape infections. So it's your job to create that environment where they feel completely safe and completely entitled to a right to speak and be heard.
Okay, another take is girlhood is feeling like you don't own your body.
And our interpretation of that is being raised to believe that you are nothing but someone's wife,
Someone's mother.
So you base your entire self-worth on, oh my
Societal
God,
standards.
is someone going to marry me like this?
Yeah.
It looks
I
like
can't cook. Am I sure? But please cook. You're a girl, your boy, please
yes,
cook.
learn to cook. But what I'm trying to say is it messes with people's heads, because we might rebel to our parents. We're like speaking to the moms to do this. It might look like we're trying to be rebellious, but that's the only way for us to, relay the way we actually feel. Because when we go back into our quiet space, when we're all in our heads, we actually think, oh wow, I'm actually going to be a failure as a wife. We think about these things that you tell us, and it affects us. It puts a lot of pressure. So
It does, guys.
Explain to them that they're gonna get married one day, but it shouldn't be the basis of their existence. There are people who will tell you that education is nothing, that it doesn't matter if you're intelligent and you're beautiful if you don't know how to raise a home. Don't make people base their entire self-worth around the kitchen, because before there were girls and boys, there were humans, there were people,
They were humans.
and everyone deserves a choice. Everyone deserves, a chance to decide what they want to do with their lives.
Period.
So,
Girlhood is being reminded constantly that you are a girl child. And then you ask yourself, what is so special about being a girl child? Oh.
it is special. Being a girl child means you have the ability to create. That is something specific to you. Only you. Think about how
Only you
strong
guys,
you
only
are.
girls.
Think about how you've had to deal with a lot of things from a tender age, all because your body is growing. This isn't something you asked for, but look at you now. You've grown into it, you've learned to accept it. You're a fighter. I know you get tired of hearing you're a girl, but it's a beautiful thing. Try to look at it that way. Don't wish
You were a guy.
Actually, I wish I was a guy. Don't wish it could be taken away from you. Don't try to suppress your femininity, all in an act of rebellion. It's only okay to do that if it's how you feel. It's like, okay, it's okay for people to pick paths for themselves. There are people who want to be traditional wives. There are people who enjoy cooking and cleaning and raising kids. There are people who see that as a fairy tale dream. And then there are people who don't. So what I'm trying to say is, don't reject that part of womanhood. all because you want to prove a point to other people, you will be miserable.
Because
So-
because why are you trying to prove to them?
What you
Prove
really
to
trying to
yourself.
prove? Like, prove to yourself that you can be this and still be that.
In conclusion, guys, please remember, I would always keep stressing, remember the fact that as girls back then, we weren't allowed to go to school, we weren't educated, we weren't allowed to speak, we weren't allowed to sit right. Even in some parts of the country till now, girls aren't allowed to come out. Like, just come out. You weren't allowed. You are tied down, you are told to be in the house. Don't speak, don't talk, and all that. So please, celebrate International Day of the Girl Child with pride, with the feeling of accomplishment, with the feeling of fulfillment. And I'm looking forward to a better future, just like the theme, digital. I think that's mostly for women in tech. So I am rooting for all the girls in tech because you guys are
Hell yeah.
top. You guys are the real MVPs. So please, conclusively, try as much as possible to share your story. Try as much as possible to reach out to other girls. Tell them they are not the only ones in this whole thing. Try as much as possible to be proud of yourself. Be proud of your gender. Be proud of the progress, the entitlements you've been given today. Because a lot of girls back then weren't allowed, weren't given. Be proud of what the future would bring for you. Be proud of transitioning from a child to a woman. Be proud of all of it. Be proud because you are a queen. Till I see you again, I am Queen Renaya Johnson, and this is Raised in Queens episode. Bye guys.
Bye. Thank you for having me.
That was 15 minutes.